So as a father of 5 children ranging in age from 10 years down to 5 days old, I have become more and more convinced as the years have passed that the single greatest gift that I can give my children is the gift of being a reader. And I've thought about this a lot recently because of the birth of our 5th child, and with today being Father's Day, really questioning what if I could just choose one thing to give my kids, what would it be? And there's so many things to choose from. And the interesting thing that I've noticed is that the more that I think about it, the more I have come to the realization that even though there's a whole swath of things that I could choose, the thing about giving them the gift of being a reader is that if they become a reader, all of the other gifts that I would give them, they will eventually attain for themselves and by themselves. And so this idea for me of them being a reader, the definition that I would use is that a reader is someone who has a core value in their life of humbly engaging with great books, right? And those terms, so humbly meaning truthfully, meaning when they go to read a book, they don't falsely elevate themselves or the author, and they don't falsely denigrate themselves or the author. They approach the book in truth about everything relating to it, about themselves and about the author and what the book can offer. And then engaging being not just that they just read a book, because tons of people can just read words and it doesn't mean anything. Engaging means the actual act of deep reading and reading for understanding and reading for change and reading to expand your best thinking and become a better person, right? And then great books, meaning books that speak in a profoundly appropriate way about truth and beauty. And so the thing about great books is that great books are not relegated to a certain level of reading or a certain age level. It's not like you only hit great books when you start to be able to read at a college level, right? We have a book that I've read to all of our kids called Night Night Forest Friends, and it speaks in a profoundly appropriate way for a children's goodnight story about the truth and beauty of the safety of parents and the love of parents at a nighttime ritual, right? So that's a great book. So if I can give my children the gift of becoming a reader, and they can take this core value in their life of humbly engaging with great books, then the thing that has just become more and more obvious to me is that whatever other lessons they need to learn, God will direct them into those lessons through that value of being a great reader, right? So if I can give them one thing, if I can just give them the gift of being a reader, and they have a core value of humbly engaging with great books, then every other lesson that I would want to give them and every other thing that I would want to give them is just going to happen naturally. God's going to lead them into it, and their curiosity and their character will lead them to what they need to engage with in order to learn those other lessons. But the thing that I think is so pertinent about this idea for Father's Day is this idea that you cannot give what you do not have. And so simultaneously, while the best thing that I can do is give them the gift of being a reader, meaning making them a reader, really what it means is that the best thing that I can do is to give them the gift of me being a reader, because I cannot give what I do not have, right? You cannot give something that you don't have. And so the chances of your child becoming a reader and valuing this are very, very slim if you don't value it, if I as a father don't value that. And one of the things that is just so pernicious in modern society is this idea that we can segregate things out, right? And so it's like, well, how do you be a good dad? Or like, how do you be a good husband? And what we forget is this idea that like husband is a role that the man plays, and father is a role that the man plays, and all these other things, they're roles that the man plays. And so they all stem from the man. So if you want to be a better father, you need to become a better man. And with the exceptions that prove the rule, you can't become a better man without becoming a reader. You just can't. The exceptions that you can find in life are so few and far between that it's just blatantly obvious that they are the exceptions that prove the rule. And every great man that you look up to has the heart of a reader. There's someone who has a core value of humbly engaging with great books and great ideas, right? And so for me, just this idea and this encouragement to any father out there, and the challenge to any father out there, is that the single best thing that you can do for your children is develop yourself as a man. And the best way that you can start to develop yourself as a man is to push into reading and reading better, and getting to a place where you can call yourself a reader, and striving for that goal and that definition where that's what a reader means. It means you're someone who has a core value of humbly engaging with great books. And if you do that and you possess that, then you can give that to your kids. And if they have that, they are as well prepared as you could possibly make them to go and do what they are supposed to do in this life, and go and be submitted to the calling that God has on their life and the way that God's trying to lead their life. If they approach life with this attitude of a reader, and this attitude of humility, and really this attitude of truth, of not falsely elevating or falsely denigrating themselves or anyone else, if they can walk in that, then everything else that they need to learn and everything else that they need to gain and become will happen as a result of that. So yeah, happy Father's Day, all the fathers out there. And yeah, go pick up some books. If you need some recommendations, here's a bunch. I got a gajillion of them. Go read some.